In this episode, we examine a pattern that exists prior to language, doctrine, and recorded history. Across civilizations, separated by time and geography, the same geometric forms appear in architecture, monuments, and sacred spaces. Circles, ratios, alignments, and proportions repeat with striking consistency. This episode explores those shared symbols, the architectural evidence that preserves them, and the possibility that geometry functioned as a universal organizing system, one that endured collapse, conquest, and cultural change. This is not an interpretation. It is an observation. Let's begin. Across the world, the same forms appear. Circles carved into stone, triangles arranged in space, spirals traced into walls, floors, and monuments. These forms appear in cultures separated by oceans. They appear in civilizations separated by thousands of years. They appear without evidence of shared language or contact. This recurrence invites attention. Archaeologists, historians, and mathematicians use the term sacred geometry to describe geometric patterns that appear consistently in both natural systems and human construction. These patterns are not decorative. They are proportional. They describe relationships between parts and wholes. They describe balance, symmetry, and repetition. One of the most frequently observed proportions is commonly referred to as the golden ratio, approximately 1:618. This ratio appears in natural growth patterns, including plant phyllotaxis, shell spirals, and the proportions of the human body. It also appears in architecture across multiple ancient cultures. The Parthenon in Athens reflects proportional relationships consistent with this ratio. Ancient Egyptian temples demonstrate similar harmonic spacing. Gothic cathedrals across Europe employ geometric frameworks based on repeating ratios and symmetrical balance. These structures were constructed long before modern mathematical notation existed. Their builders worked through observation, measurement, and repetition. In Mesoamerica, Mayan architecture demonstrates precise astronomical alignment. Structures such as El Castillo at Chichen Itza are oriented to solar cycles, producing consistent light and shadow effects during equinoxes. These effects occur regardless of interpretation. They are measurable. They repeat. In Cambodia, the temple complex of Angkor Wat reflects cosmological mapping through spatial design. Distances between structures correspond to symbolic representations of time cycles described in surviving Hindu texts. In ancient India, architectural systems documented in Vastu Shastra outlined spatial principles based on orientation, proportion, and directional balance. These principles govern the placement of structures relative to cardinal directions and natural forces. Across Europe, Africa, Asia, and the Americas, megalithic sites demonstrate shared construction principles. Stone circles, aligned corridors, symmetrical layouts. These sites required planning, coordination, and standardized measurement. The recurrence of these forms presents a problem for purely local explanation. They suggest shared observation rather than coincidence. Geometry provided a system that preceded writing. It did not rely on language. It could be reproduced visually and spatially. When civilizations collapsed, structures remained. When languages shifted, proportions stayed intact. When texts were lost, form endured. Architecture preserved relationship. This preservation did not require belief. It required repetition. The record shows that these patterns persisted across periods of disruption. They reappear in regions that experienced collapse, conquest, and reorganization. This persistence raises questions. Why do the same geometric relationships surface repeatedly? Why do these forms appear in cultures with no documented contact? Why are they embedded into structures rather than recorded as texts? This episode does not answer those questions. It establishes the pattern. Across civilizations, geometry appears as a consistent organizing principle. It survives independently of narrative. It remains legible without translation. This observation adds another layer to the inquiry underway this season. History fragments. Timelines shift. Civilizations collapse. Yet certain structures persist. As this series continues, attention will remain on how knowledge is preserved, altered, or forgotten across these conditions. For now, hold this observation. Across human history, meaning has been shaped into form. If this episode stirred something, don't let it stop here. Follow the channel so you don't lose the thread. This series is unfolding deliberately, and each episode builds on the last. If you know someone who enjoys questioning inherited narratives, send this their way. That's how these conversations stay alive. And if you want to keep going right now, there are more episodes from Unlearn Everything already waiting for you on the channel. Stay curious. Keep unlearning everything. We'll keep going.